So usually when you hear about a massive mobilization involving, international allies and active duty military battalions, you'd think we're looking at a conflict overseas. But this deployment is entirely domestic.
Yeah, it's happening right here at home.
Right. So today we're doing a deep dive into this incredibly detailed wildfire report from the Daily Tech Reader. And we're looking specifically at the situation as of August 19th, 2026. The mission here is to just really grasp the staggering scale of this fire season and the massive multinational logistics required to fight it.
Mm-hmm. And the weather systems that are basically dictating the battlefield right now.
Exactly.
The numbers in this report, they represent a fundamental strain on our emergency infrastructure. We're currently sitting at preparedness level 5.
Okay, let's unpack this. I saw that term in the report, but what does level 5 actually mean on the ground? Is it just like a warning level, or does it trigger specific actions?
It's the absolute highest level of national strain. It means, essentially, all of our national incident management teams and wildland firefighting personnel are fully committed. There's no reserve. We've had over 7.4 million acres burned this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with 75 uncontained large fires right now. So that requires putting nearly 27,000 personnel into the field.
Man, I was trying to wrap my head around that number earlier. Moving 27,000 people into a rugged terrain, it's like picking up an entire small city and dropping it into a forest.
Exactly.
But you can't just drop them there, right? You have to build a real-time supply chain from scratch in a matter of days just to keep them fed and equipped and, medically supported.
Which is exactly why the system is completely maxed out right now. And it's forcing this huge call for international reinforcements. We've actually flown in 196 fireline personnel and 3 15-member management teams from Australia and New Zealand.
Wait, I get bringing in extra boots on the ground just for sheer manpower, but why foreign management? Don't we have our own command structures for that?
Well, normally, yes, we do. But managing a 100,000-acre fire is, it's like running a massive corporation under crisis conditions.
Right.
It requires highly specialized incident commanders who know how to coordinate, air traffic, ground troops, supply lines, all simultaneously. And ours are just entirely tapped out.
I see. So the foreign teams step in.
Yeah, we import teams who use a really similar incident command system so they can just plug right into our operations. And we've even militarized the response at this point.
Wait, really?
Yeah, 240 soldiers from the 7th Infantry Division are deployed right now on Washington's Madre Fire.
Yeah.
And they're working alongside military C-130 air tankers in Oregon and California.
That is wild. And that extreme logistical strain really points to exactly where they're being sent, right?
Yeah.
The geography matters so much here.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the Pacific Northwest is just the absolute epicenter draining all these resources. Washington alone has 34 uncontained fires.
It's getting battered.
And the report highlighted the Little Giant fire specifically, noting it was actively torching and flanking. I hear flanking and I picture a military maneuver, but what does that actually look like for a fire?
It's a terrifying physical mechanism to witness.
Mm-hmm.
Flanking just means the fire is spreading really aggressively along its sides, so it's widening the perimeter faster than crews can build containment lines.
Gotcha. And torching.
Torching is when a surface fire suddenly climbs up into the crowns of individual trees. It creates these massive columns of flame. And it's happening so much out there because of the atmospheric mechanics at play. There's this huge high-pressure system that is essentially acting as an engine of combustion for the entire West Coast.
Oh, because high pressure means descending, warming air that just dries everything out.
Spot on.
Yeah.
That descending air compresses and heats up, so it basically bakes the fuel on the ground and pushes the humidity down into the single digits. And then you look at California, which is baking at 100-degree heat, or Texas facing triple digits with these 25-mile-per-hour gusts. Contrast that with a cold front that's hitting places like eastern Colorado.
Okay, see, here's where it gets really interesting to me. Because a cold front sounds like relief. But doesn't that just introduce chaotic wind shifts?
It totally does.
It feels like managing this is just a high-stakes game of weather whack-a-mole. You pour resources into stopping a fire in one valley, but then the cold front changes the atmospheric pressure, the wind whips around 180 degrees, and suddenly a completely new flank blows up.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that whack-a-mole dynamic is exactly what breaks the supply chain.
Right, because you can't just leave them there.
No, you can't just set up that small city of firefighters and walk away. Incident commanders are forced to constantly dismantle and reposition these heavily strained resources across different states based on hourly atmospheric changes.
That is exhausting just to think about.
It really is.
So what does this all mean for the listener? I mean, even if you're listening to this from an apartment miles away from any forest, this massive mobilization impacts you.
For sure.
Because we've got national military readiness tied up in fire suppression now. We've got international alliances acting as a crutch for our own domestic disaster response. The broader infrastructure is completely vulnerable.
Yeah, it really highlights the extreme fragility of a fully maxed out system.
Yeah.
And the most alarming detail in this entire report is actually tucked away at the very end, far from the Pacific Northwest.
Wait, really? What was it?
It's that scattered thunderstorms are moving over southern Florida.
Wait, Florida, like on the exact opposite side of the map.
Yeah. The report notes those storms are hitting record dry fuels down there. And it's creating a massive risk for new fire starts because of lightning and gusty outflow winds.
Okay, outflow winds being like the cold air that crashes down from a thunderstorm and just blasts out in all directions.
Exactly. That sudden blast acts like a bellows on dry kindling. So here is the scenario to consider. Our national response system is already stretched so thin that it's relying on Australian commanders and active duty military just to hold the line in the Pacific Northwest.
Really?
If a massive new fire cluster suddenly ignites in Florida due to those outflow winds over record dry fuels, how does that depleted system suddenly pivot to fight a two-front war across an entire continent?